Welcome back to Technosurgeon YouTube channel. So a buyer gets scammed on Amazon basically, and he bought an i9-3900K CPU, but it turned out to be i7-13700K with its counterfeit IHS. IHS is basically the metal sheet that goes on top of your core or on top of your CPU, which is like IHS, which as you can see on the screen here, this is an IHS, and here it says like core i9-3900K, but when it booted in, you notice a fewer cores, and then it turned out to be i7 part. So it is weird to see because as of now, no one removes an entire IHS and replaces it with a new one like of i7. Like they might put stickers on top of it which says it's i7, but yeah, this game is pretty weird, and at the same time, it looks pretty annoying because if you buy a new CPU, you can't specifically see it whether the IHS is of i9 or i7 unless you boot it into the system. So it's weird to see like some people doing this scam and stuff like that. But more details are not been provided, so yeah, we can't say anything about it. Moving on, there's some nice news. Starfield has been launched, and we have some nice news regarding it. And DLSS 3.5 mod is now available on PC and is a upscaling mod. Like this model which had made this mod made for XeSS and DLSS 2 also, and DLSS 2 and XeSS is available freely, but the plugin for DLSS 3.5 you have to pay for it or something like that. And he also showed you how to install the DLSS 3 DLSS 3.5 mod on Starfield, and 3.5 you will need a little bit more steps to do, but yeah, overall modding community has already done it. They had patched DLSS and 3 F XeSS on Starfield, and the performance gain, it's pretty insane. As you can see on the screen here, in native if you get like 61 frames per second, and DLSS 2 and DLSS 3 it is a different scenario. So FSR 2 is pretty nice, but when you compare it with DLSS 3, it's pretty insane. As you can see on the screen here, in native if you are getting 61 frames per second, in FSR 2 you get like 130 frames per second, but when you enable DLSS 3.5 with frame generation, the frame rate increases to a whopping 168 frames per second, which is pretty insane. Like DLSS 3.5 without frame generation 124, and with frame generation 165, and you can see on the screen here it looks pretty nice. These are all the screenshot which has been provided. So yeah, overall pretty nice. And in a nice bit of a news, a player was playing Starfield, binging Starfield literally when it came out, and this saved the player's life because something on his lower apartment went up in smoke, and it was a fire, and the smoke was coming up. And since he was playing Starfield and he was waking late at night playing the game, he was being saved. So yeah, Starfield basically saved a person's life. You don't see stories like this anymore, but yeah, it's pretty nice. And next up we have some news regarding Intel's 14th generation of CPUs. More of it, it's like i9 4900K, and it's like 10% increase in single threaded performance and leg benchmark by Tom's Hardware. So in the leg benchmarks we see like i9 4900K has like 10% increase in single core performance when compared to i9 3900K, which is to be expected, but this is like a generation difference. So yeah, and it will be because i9 4900K can sustain like 6 gigahertz per 6 gigahertz frequency for a very long time. It is not like a special variant where it's like a single core boost to 6 gigahertz and then comes back. Like i9 4900K can stabilize at 6 gigahertz. So this uplift of 10%, which is to be expected, and multi-core is set to be 8%, 8 to 18%, which is weird to see because we are like literally on a new generation of CPUs, and the pricing is also going to be increased from 18%, like as low as 10 to 20% in my last video. So it's weird to see because it's a new generation, and just like it looks nice, but just 10% increase, it's pretty weird for an entire new generation. And since it's also a refresh, it is to be expected, but you are paying more for essentially a mediocre CPU, which is weird to see. But yeah, that's it from me today. What do you think about the news going on this week? What do you think about DLSS 3.5 patched into Starfield and stuff? Sound off everything in the comment section below, and I will meet you in the next one. Peace out.